Here are today's starting lineups. First, leading off for the Warriors, the center fielder, number 7, Chase Bennett. Batting second, the right fielder, number 20, Garrett England. Batting third, the shortstop, number 33, Luke Helton. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 17, Nick Carrizales. Batting fifth, starting pitcher, number 48, Tyler Wick. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 44, Brady Reed. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 2, Ryan Glithero. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 28, Sam Pohl. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 6, Evan Hillman. The Warriors are coached by Mr. Scott Sherry. And now the starters for your Crawfordsville Athenians. Leading off, the starting pitcher, number 21, Will Kellerman. Batting second, the second baseman, number 5, Carson Scott. Batting third, the third baseman, number 20, Josh Blackburn. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 34, Austin Warren. Warren will be hitting for first baseman, number 19, Sammy Riddle. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 24, Cam Saunders. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 6, Jake Decker. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 11, Owen Bennett. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 8, Cale McCarty. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 25, Cade Fitzwater. Your Athenians are coached by Mr. John Froge. He is assisted by Rhett Welliver, Tony Bean, and Daryl Hobson. Today's umpires are Mr. Dennis Gladys and Mr. Shane Kinder. At this time, please direct your attention to the American flag located in right field. The Crawfordsville Community School Corporation, in conjunction with the IHSAA, invite you to please stand and proudly remove your caps as we honor the United States of America with our national anthem. Let's play baseball! For our guests from Whiteland, please know that today's game is being broadcast live on YouTube. If you know someone that wasn't able to make it out to the ballpark, give them a call and let them know they can watch the action live as it happens on their computer, smartphone, tablet, or other connected device. Or if you'd like to watch a replay of today's game, log on to YouTube and look up Crawfordsville Athletics, and you can enjoy replays and follow the Athenians all season long. Thank you.
Good afternoon from Crawfordsville High School and Athenian baseball field. Beautiful day for baseball today and a doubleheader. I look forward to working with Jeff Nelson today. This is Dan Wallner, and on the video, Justin Duggar once again. Well,
Coach, just like Ernie Banks always used to say,
let's play two. Absolutely, yeah. And it is one of the nicest, if not the nicest day we've had for baseball all season. This has weather-wise been a real tester for everybody.
I was over at Frankfort covering Southmont's tough loss the other night, Coach, and I was talking with a basketball coach at Frankfort, and he was taking money, and he said, and it was a really good observation. He said, this Sagamore Conference this year is going to turn into a tale of two seasons: the cold weather season and the warm weather season. Yeah. Several teams have started playing much better now that the weather has gotten warmer.
Oh, absolutely.
And you and I talked before we went on the air about the complete jumbulation of what the Sagamore Conference race is. Maybe there was some truth in that. Maybe there are some teams that didn't fare very well.
Well, I don't question that in any sense. I think that we sometimes forget that we're sitting in the bleachers and it's really cold.
Yes.
But the kids are on the field and have much less clothing on. And listen, I remember back in 55, playing out of Milligan Park for Crawfordsville High School, and snow flurries coming down it, and I never forgot that.
No kidding.
One time.
You don't forget playing baseball in the snow. There's no question about that. Yeah, 73 degrees today. Wind just barely moving the flags in the field. It's listed at 5 miles an hour. 135 for our first pitch, and Coach Mulliver's got it.
I got it, and that's a foul off to the right side from Chase Bennett. He's a center fielder for Whiteland Community High School.
Whiteland 10-8 on the season, and 6-2. Really doing a nice job in their conference.
All right, Will Kellerman delivering, and this one's popped high in the air, out towards center field. Center fielder camping under, and has it for out number one. So a good economy of pitches there to get that first out for Will. And we've just recently made a little bit of a switch, Jeff, in that Cade Fitzwater has gone to center field from third base, and that moved Josh Blackburn into third base.
Yes. Well, this is such a seriously young Crawfordsville team that there has to be experimentation through the course of the year.
There's a fastball for a strike on the inside corner. Jeff, it hasn't been too many Saturdays ago. We were over to Frankfort with the Athenians, and Will Kellerman was the best I'd ever seen him. He was tremendous in a game that did go extra innings with the Athenians coming out victorious. There's a second pitch, swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes.
This is Garrett England at the plate, and you're right, Coach. No pitcher has improved more this season than Will Kellerman.
Here's a ground ball, right side. Scott has it on to first base, and we've got Sammy Phillips over there. Sammy Riddle, pardon me, Phillips, that's another guy. Sammy Riddle has rotated around this season quite a bit. Caught last night's ball game, actually.
Yep.
Spent most of the season actually as a DH.
And there again, we're a little more than halfway through the season, a solid halfway through the season, and there's still very few guys that can say, all right, this is the only place they're going to play. I think McCarty probably is that only guy in this defensive rotation who will say, this is where he's going to start and this is where he's going to stop.
Right. There's the first pitch into Helton. He is the shortstop, Luke Helton.
He's also Whiteland's number 1 pitcher, called strike 2.
Yeah, you're saying he's not going to be used today in either game.
Yep, I was talking with the coaches half an hour or so ago before the game, and they said he's their number 1, and he just needs a little extra rest. They got a big conference matchup with Mooresville next year.
Here's the next pitch, grounded left side. That's going to hit that 5.5 hole off the glove as Cale took a dive after that ball, and it got off the glove for a base hit. So we're running aboard now with 2 down here.
That'll bring up Nick Carrizales for Whiteland.
Carrizales
He's the hardest name to pronounce on the Whiteland team.
Well, yeah. Well, they've got a couple there that if we didn't get help, we might stumble on. But Nick is a senior, playing first base, first pitch, ball.
Yeah, this Whiteland team substantially older than the Crawfordsville team. There are 3 seniors and everybody else.
Pitch on the inside corner for a strike.
Yep, all the rest juniors. So the Crawfordsville has, a sophomore-dominated roster.
Here's a breaking ball. Catches the outside corner. Swung on and missed. So Will ahead on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down, runner at first base. Athenian infield playing it straight up all the way around. This pitch swung on a miss. This one gets by, and that's going to be a safe strikeout for the Whiteland Warriors. Strike with a phantom play on us here early.
It technically goes down as an E2.
It's a strikeout. Credited for Will, but error on the catcher. Yeah, Owen just really didn't get down on that one.
No. He may have thought it was going to bounce off the plate and never did, or maybe it caught the black edge of the plate and got underneath him.
Here's a pitch down and in to Tyler Wick.
Well, it's nothing real serious if they can get this guy out.
Yeah, better with 2 down than to lead off an inning that way. Here's the 0-1. This ball catches the outside corner. We'll have to be careful, Jeff, not to call these pitches ahead of time. Just a slight delay on the umpire signal.
He's making sure also.
1 ball, 1 strike. This one swung on. It'll go down to third base. Josh Blackbird across the diamond and right in the glove of Sammy, and he will end that inning with no run scored.
1 hit, 1 error, and 2.
So it goes down, no runs, 1 hit. There was that Crawfordsville error on the pass ball, and 2 runners left on base. And Kellerman gets out of this with a 2, 5, 8, 12, 15 pitches.
Well, we mentioned beautiful day, and temperature is about 73 degrees, Jeff, and the wind very slight out of the west-southwest at 3 miles an hour, and that is another unique thing that we've, I'll tell you what, I observed 1 ball game down at Southmont this year. The wind was blowing in her face, and the snow was blowing in her face also.
That's right.
And the temperature when we got done with the game, I think was like 37 or 5. I can't remember now.
Absolutely.
But the wind chill was like in the 20s, you know.
We used wind chill numbers for about the first 2 weeks of the season, and that's just tough on. It's tough on fans and moms and dads, and tough on coaches, and tough on pitchers' arms too. So.
Well, I tell you, the fans. I mean, I was amazed, and I do think, honestly, the crowds were down a little bit, but I was amazed how many fans did come out and tough it out.
Yep.
And folks learned how to dress, so I'll tell you that.
That's
they
right.
Came out like Eskimos, but you needed every bit of it.
Just like you're going to go to Lambeau Field for a football game.
Yeah, frozen tundra.
Bring the mucklucks and the parkas and the heavy gloves and the hot chocolate. And I know Carol Kraft and all the folks working concession stands here at Crawfordsville. I know I've bugged her a couple different times coming out early this season. I come walking by and said, Carol, fire up the coffee pot if you don't have it going already. And one time she did, and one time she drug it out, and I think I drank most of that pot of coffee covering that ball game. So.
Well, left-hander on the mound. Athenians are not strangers to left-handers this year.
It's Tyler Wick on the mound.
Yeah.
So, and coaches did say that he's kind of the rotation between their 2 and 3.
Okay.
So,
now he's a junior and has a little experience.
Yeah. 10-8 for that Whiteland team. This is about what they came in last year, just a little bit above 500. They were a little bit better in their league than they were last year. Of course, they played, with Mooresville, and Whiteland, Shelbyville, some bigger schools,
Well, the Athenians coming off of tough Sagamore Conference week, as far as that goes, going down. And matter of fact, the last couple of weeks have been really tough.
Right.
Very unusual, but getting a win last night, Athenians really didn't get that many hits, but it's partly because North Putnam pitchers had a little trouble with control.
Yep.
Several batters were hit, and some walks in there, and so the Athenians had 6
For your Athenians,
hits, despite coming up with a 10-run win in 5 innings. Here's Will Kellerman leading off for the Athenians.
Kellerman pitching today, hitting from the left side, so good leadoff man for Crawfordsville all year long.
Will's done a good job all year long. Here's the delivery outside for ball 1.
His sister was the big hero.
Yes, she was.
3-run inside the park home run in the bottom of the 7th inning. All 6 of the Crawfordsville's runs were scored
with 2 outs. Yeah.
You did read my story.
Well, yes, I did. As a matter of fact, congratulations on your good work once again, Jeff.
Thank you.
But I tell you what, I have a lot of connections.
Yes, you do.
When it comes to these ball fields, here's a pitch high, and the count goes 3 balls and no strikes. Just getting underway here at the Athenian Field. Bottom half of inning number 1, no score. Left-hander delivers and catches the outside corner with a fastball. 3-1 now.
Yeah, the old 3-0 automatic. He throws it there again. I wonder if it would be a strike.
Next pitch taken for a strike.
I guess he did.
Yeah, a little higher in the zone, I think, than the last pitch, but nonetheless, catching the outside corner. So full count now, and Will Kellerman, very important junior player to this Athenian baseball team. Here's the ball fouled off into the net, this great net that we have. Jeff, I've forgotten how many years we've had it now, but what an improvement in a ballpark.
Crawfordsville Athletic Director Bryce Barton and I were talking about that last night at the girls' game. I was asking him how long the Nets. We think this is the 5th year for the Nets.
Here's the left-handed breaking ball, goes outside, so leadoff walk to Will Kellerman.
And to finish the thought on the Nets, Bryce did talk about in this offseason, the Nets, as netting will do, got a little bit more flexible and got a little stretchy. Okay. So before the season started, they came in and tightened everything so that they weren't don't get nearly as close as they did last year. Good leadoff walk by Kellerman on 7 pitches.
Okay, Carson Scott to the plate, batting right-handed. He is a switch hitter. Bunts well from either side. Here's the pitch, and he takes this for a called strike. Carson actually had a bad bunt last night. I mentioning to Mike how rare it was to see him pop a bunt up, because he does such a great job of selecting his pitch to get a good ball to get down. Here's a left-hander going to first base, Will back in time.
Yeah, and in addition to being a great bunter, Carson Scott's just a great hitter. I mean, my goodness, he's been well over 400, this entire season. I know he was flirting with 500 a couple of weeks ago.
Here's the pitch taken for a strike on the breaking ball. So Carson got fooled on that one.
He sure did.
It looked like it was going to be high, but took a lot off of that pitch, and they had a big drop. So Carson down and probably not bunting, but Coach Froh just known for sometimes going ahead and bunting on 2 strikes.
Let's just see if they want to play small ball all day long.
Here's the 0-2. That ball is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
A good hitter like Scott, maybe looking for something outside that he could punch that direction too. But he's got to guard the plate with 2 strikes.
Yes, this young man is going to be really, really outstanding. He's gone. He is on. Pitcher cannot make the play, and you're not going to get Carson Scott once a slow roller gets by the mound.
Yep.
So the Athenians with runners at first and second now, nobody down. Well, the other thing about Carson is now we've been beginning to use him some as a pitcher. Mm-hmm. He actually threw, a couple innings, I believe, last night. And
right.
So, you never can have too much pitching.
You cannot. And that's the glory of having this young staff. Everybody gets a chance to do it, and nobody says, well, I've tried this and failed, and not be scared of doing it.
Blackburn takes a fastball for a strike as he had squared around the bunt, and I'm pretty sure he had option on that one.
Mm-hmm. May not have the option on this. This may be one coming to put 2 guys in scoring position.
This one's down and in. Good job by the catcher sliding over and keeping that one right there.
Gives Blackburn some options. Gives Coach Froge some options here too. Both runners, are being watched and not getting too far off base.
Shortstop in behind Kellerman out there. Kellerman likes to get a big lead. Here's a wide one there, gets by, and both runners will advance now. So the Athenians in a very good early scoring situation here with runners on second and third and nobody down. Count on Blackburn, 2 balls and 1 strike, and a little conference now between the catcher and pitcher.
The wild pitch takes away the need for a bunt now. Now you just left Blackburn loose and say get something to the outfield, get something between somebody, just put something in play. You're probably going to score a run. Whiteland has pulled the corners up, playing double play depth field in the middle of the infield, surprisingly with nobody on first.
Here's a 2-1. Swung on. This ball is out to center field. Center fielder over. He's there. He has it. Tagging up at second or at third and coming to home is Kellerman with run number 1 for the Athenians and Carson Scott on down to third. So sacrifice fly there for Blackburn puts the Athenians on the board 1-0.
Yeah, Crawfordville doing what they have done so well over the course of, you can say it's about a century, it seems like. It's 26, 27 years in the John Froge era. You get somebody on, you find a way to move them. If it's got to be an infield play, an infield sacrifice, it's to turn into a wild pitch, and then find a way to get a guy in. Now the option here for Warren, do the same thing.
Here's a pitch that stays inside. Warren at the plate, and this young man, again, playing left field, but great prospect as a pitcher. He's done a pretty good job. It's been a little inconsistent. Here's a ground ball right side. Second baseman got to get it, but Athenians will plate run number 2 as Carson Scott touches the home plate, and 2-0 ball game here in the bottom of the first inning.
Coach Welliver and Coach Froge have told me this once. They told me this 500 times over the course of covering this team. You find a way to get these guys in once you get them on base. You score early. You put the pressure on the other team's offense now. And if you can score a run every inning, 7 runs looks pretty darn good at the end of the day.
That's for sure. Well, you're exactly right. And this ball club has over the years been a team that bunts well, but you have to play a little bit according to the talent you have at any given time. Here's a ground ball. The pitcher does a nice job going to his right, catching the ball and throwing the runner Warren out at first base.
The Athenians score 2 runs on 1 hit with no errors.
2 runs on a hit.
None.
Execute a sacrifice fly. Get a score on an infield out. So yeah, 2 runs on a very efficient 1 hit.
Well, I tell you, going on a little bit more about the Athenian baseball. One of the differences I've noticed this year, I've mentioned this quite a bit on webcast too, I know, but one of the things that kids have done over the years very well is finding a way to get in front of a pitch to baseball. Mm-hmm. And last night they were hit quite a bit, but I said I hadn't seen that much this season, and I've seen us be pretty good at dancing out of the way. And then, you can understand if a guy's throwing the ball about 87 miles an hour or something like that. But those little slow breakers, you just don't want those to miss you when they're coming inside. Right. And I think that's something else that they'll pick up a little more as time goes by.
Yep. And sophomores taking a varsity hit, that's a whole little different story than when you're playing JV ball. And just like you said, Coach, that 55 mile an hour ball versus that 70 mile an hour ball, that's a pretty significant difference in the size of the bruise, I think. So
I think I recorded that last out to the wrong player.
It was what? Yeah, that was Son.
That was Cam. Yeah,
he went out 1-3.
Yeah. So we top of the second, and number 44, Bradley Reed. He's the third baseman.
Leading off for the Warriors, the third baseman, Brady Reed.
Middle of the order here, 6, 7, 8, or bottom of the order, 6, 7, 8, 9 coming up here for Whiteland. And a couple guys on in the first. Let's see what they do here.
Here's a ball popped toward left field. Well, we went back too far. And good correction out there, though. One really looking as wait a minute. That's Saunders out there.
Today,
yeah, switch me around. Hey, that's one of the things I was going to mention. We have. And maybe because we're still searching in this young ball club, but we have really moved players all over the field this year, and that is a little bit unusual. Not that we haven't had players that have some ability to do that kind of thing, but more so than normal this year.
It drives eye-high announcers crazy.
There's a pitch taken for a strike, and the count evens. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is Ryan. I think it's Githero, yeah. I would say I want to put a hero on the end of it. Can you blame me for doing that? I mean, if I got HERO, I'm a hero. Here's a fly ball, right field, camping, waiting, in the glove. And that's Jake out there.
Decker.
Jake Decker.
A couple of steps that hit right at him.
Jake has been a good outfielder all season.
It look a lot easier than Cam did. Cam out there is going to circle the wagon once and then make the big dash.
Yeah. I don't know whether we've used Jake at all outfield positions, but of course Jake has pitched some, and there's another player that's kind of been all over the diamond.
Yep, utilities. Another fly ball.
Well, that is what you call a quick inning as Cole flies to left field.
5 pitches. That's the way to save an arm. 3 quick up, 3 quick down for Whiteland here. They'll still have their number 9 hitter to come up in the 3rd inning, as we mentioned. Kellerman working efficiently, and Whiteland chasing after those little bit higher pitches. 5 pitches in that inning gives Kellerman 20. So an outstanding effort. So, you don't even have to write that down. It's a 6-1 JV win. Yep. Coach Bean met me at the gate.
All right.
Yeah, they drove up to West Lafayette and played an early game, and they got here just in time to help finish the last of the little diamond preparation. So, congrats to Coach Bean and the JV guys on a good road win. So, this game, first of 2. As Crawfordville and North Montgomery swap opponents in about 3 hours. Whiteland here this afternoon for this first game. Then they will go to Chargerville for about a 4:30 game against North. And then Cecina will head down here. And they are taking on North Montgomery right now. So it makes today a really great day.
Yeah, it is.
You've got 2 good teams coming in, against 2 quality local teams. The Whiteland coaching staff, as I said, when I've talked to them earlier, is just so pleased to come down for something like this. Say we get to play 2 good opponents on 2 good fields. That's just a nice deal. So,
all right, Jake Decker will lead it off here in the bottom half of inning number 2.
For your Athenians, the right fielder, Jake Decker.
First pitch foul off, back behind home plate and out of play.
Landed right about where the cupcakes were being served last night.
Yeah.
They had Crawfordsville Youth softball here last night. Last Saturday was Crawfordsville Youth baseball day, so the complex has been swarming with youth players.
Next pitch grounded foul outside the line at 3rd, and Jake falls behind on the count, 0-2.
Is the teaching method still choke up and protect, or do you not choke up anymore with these fancy bats?
Well, there's not a lot of choking up. Let me tell you that, all the way from MLB to Little League. Here's a swing and a miss. There's that fastball that rides away. It seems like almost every left-hander has a fastball that really tails away, and that one was way wide of the plate, but Jake had already committed, so he goes down swinging.
That'll bring up Owen Bennett.
Yeah, Owen kind of taking a night off last night. He did get 1 at bat late in the ball game, but after a long week of catching, as a matter of fact, several weeks of catching, he got a little rest. First pitch is in there for a strike. Owen Bennett is going to be one of the very top catchers. Here's a ball foul back out of play. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I don't really think I'm out on a limb. I think he's going to be one of the outstanding catchers in the whole state of Indiana by the time he graduates from high school.
It's interesting, Coach, you mentioned that for some of these different players because they're all sophomores. They're all so young.
Oh, absolutely. Here's a pitch taken for a strike, and that's we're headed for a very quick second inning if this stuff continues.
Yeah. That I think Bennett was looking for something in a different part of the zone, and Wick just caught one. I'm sure he wanted to throw it a little bit farther away, but caught the corner knee-high outside spot and called strike three.
Shortstop Cale McCarty steps in. As you mentioned, they're all sophomores. Here's another sophomore, surprisingly wearing number 8.
Yes.
Second pitch in, swung on a miss, so he's down 0-2.
This lefty's got two good. He's got his off-speed stuff is slow and breaks a bunch, and his fastball is good.
And Cale swings and misses, so he strikes out the side, and the Athenians exit to take the field. So Tyler Wick, after suffering somewhat of a rough first inning, comes back and really takes care of things to shut the Athenians out here in the bottom of the second.
He struck out 3 guys on 9 pitches.
Yeah,
that's about as efficient.
Yeah. That's that. Well, that ties the record.
Ties the record set by several. So. Yeah, so that now gives Wick 28 pitches after his 19 in the first inning, so he brings his average down pretty substantially. Kellerman, after a 5-pitch second inning, stands with only 20 pitches, so he's really in good shape, as far as pitch counts go, averages go, and things like this.
I'm sure the coaches sent him out there this inning time, try to do a little better.
Yes. Let's see if we can do a 4-pitch inning or something like that. So, guys, if you're going to do anything less than a 9-pitch inning, you're going to have the guys. The batters have got to help you by chasing the pitch or two. So, and Kellerman had that very thing happen with 2 guys hitting the first pitch last at bat, and both times flying out to Cam Saunders in left field.
Jeff, we might look ahead just a little bit to next week here, real quick. We're coming down the end of the Sagamore Conference. Next week, Athenians and the Mounties will be matched up.
Away on Tuesday?
On Tuesday at Southline and back here next Thursday. Yep. And both those games are 6 o'clock ball games. Okay. And, of course, the home game here, we will webcast. And we always try to encourage folks to come out and watch the ball game. But the neat thing, I guess, about webcast, if you can't get out, we got it on for you. And then, if you just are out traveling around somewhere and can't get it on do it later.
That's right. You can go back and look at it again.
Just go back and look at it at your convenience.
Yep, it's
all right.
Archived right there. So.
Well, here we go with inning number 3. Here's a pitch by the pitch by Will Kellerman to the number 9 hitter.
Evan Hillman.
Yeah, Evan is the left fielder.
Yep, bottom and top for Whiteland here in this top of 3. Way behind on that fastball. Will's had, we mentioned, he's been good this season, and yet here's a bunt popped, tough play. No, not quite in time. Bennett did a nice job getting out on that one, but that ball just went out and died out there. Kind of popped it a little bit, but I'm sure it had a little backspin when it hit the ground and slowed it up. And so runner aboard here, and so turn it over to the top of the batting order and Chase Bennett. PGA golfers would like to be able to backspin a ball like that on the green because that thing went down. You're right, Coach. It went right in that perfect middle spot between the catcher and pitcher and stopped.
Here's a throw to first. Runner back in time.
Bennett flew out to center field. Gave it a pretty good poke, but that's about it.
Here's a ground ball left side into the 5.5 hole, and there's a bounce you couldn't get a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
But the ground is getting a little harder despite the rain that we did have earlier in the week. So a base hit, and all of a sudden, Whiteland has a scoring opportunity. Runners first and second, nobody down. And that'll bring up Garrett England. He's the right fielder.
Grounded out to first or to second base, his first time out. But Whiteland with a little bit of a threat here. Time for the defense to step up.
There's a pitch taken to the right field side. It's going to be a foul ball. Nobody can get to it down there. We've made some good plays. Both Kellerman and Jake Decker played quite a bit of right field, and both those guys get over the line in pretty good shape. They've made a number of plays on both sides of the line.
Yep, they got some pretty good speed over there.
Well, I'll say this. I don't think Will wants to race his sister, though.
Boy, that's for sure. She looked like she was qualifying for the 500 coming around for that home run last night.
I've watched softball a long time around here, and I believe she's the fastest girl we've ever put on a diamond.
I wouldn't argue against it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a play to second base, and the blue uniform got there before the gold.
Last night in the girls' game, Seeger had a set play trying to pick a girl off third base, except the third baseman didn't hear the number, so the catcher threw the ball right over the base.
Nobody home. Here's a ground ball. We're going to go to third. Out at third. We're going to go across to first, but that won't be in time. You know, there's a play that I do not discredit Wilf, but as you go up in levels, that play normally goes to get your double play to second base, then to first base. But lead runner high school is not that bad a thing there. So 1 down and runners at first and second.
Exactly right. You know what? And out in that situation is the most important thing. And if you're just going to get and out, then by gosh, get the one.
There's a breaking ball. That's a good pitch.
It was a really good pitch. Kellerman Bender is really working. Both guys, both of these left-handers early on, their breaking balls have been really, really effective. This is Helton, who singled in the 5.5 hole last time up.
Ground ball, and he did it again.
Same spot.
And they're going to score a run on this. That ball slowed to a trickle, and so no play at the plate. And the Warriors on the scoreboard.
That will Chase Bennett around from second base to score. Makes it 2-1. That'll bring up Carrizales, who struck out but reached first on the. Well, it's scored as an E2, but the pitch was way down in the dirt, and but it got him on.
Here's a pitch swung on. No, they said no.
No.
Check swing, we'll call it.
Yep, they're not even going to appeal it, so he didn't get far enough around.
1 ball, no strikes. 1 run in here in the top half of the third inning. Here's a ground ball third. Steps on the bag. On to first base. Throw is low. It's going to get by. That's going to allow another run to score. Good block here to Bennett, but throw too late. So Blackburn, in his haste there to try to turn that into a double play, throws low to first base. And that'll score run number 2 for the Warriors.
So the fielder's choice gets the out, but the E5 lets Helton move all the way around from first to score, and that puts Carrizales, who was the batter, eventually makes it all the way to third base on that same error.
Here's a swing and a foul tip.
Tyler Wick grounded out third to first, his first time up. Missed in.
Right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thiene is looking for that third out here in the top of the third. We've tied the ball game up as Whiteland has put a pair on the board. Next pitch taken toward right field. It's going to be fouled down into the right field corner. So Will Kellerman ahead on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So far, I don't think Will's breaking ball has been quite as sharp as I've seen it a few times. Okay. And they're actually making Will
Putting some contact
throw
on
good
it. Yeah.
good pitches too. They haven't helped him too much swinging at bad pitches. Here's a what did I say?
Yeah.
There's the fastball that tails away, and strike 3. So Will out of the jam, but a tie ball game now as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Whiteland coming up with
Pair of runs on 3
hits, and
singles,
so
1 error and then 1 left on base.
yeah.
Only 15 pitches to get all that done. So from a pitch count, Kellerman's still sitting in real good numbers shape, but Crawfordsville, just
Yeah, they were swinging early in the count and kind of picking on that 5.5 hole over there. They've had at least 3 or 4 balls that direction. So, Will, I think is in good shape here. I don't think he's hurting any, but going to have to make good pitches of these kids. They've shown they can hit the ball.
Yep.
Well, Athenians start off the bottom of the 3rd, 9-1-2, and we've got one of our seniors, Cade Fitzwater, leading it off.
That's exactly what Whiteland had in the top of the 3rd.
Exactly.
9-1-2, and it produced 2 runs. Let's see if something can work out here. The Crawfordsville got 2 runs from the top of the order in the 1st inning. So if Fitzwater can get on base any way, shape, or form, may mean good things for the offense.
Well, we need it. We need to, build on the win we got last evening and see if we can end this week on a real high note.
Yep. The Athenians 11-8 overall, so still standing above the 500 watermark, and 4-5 in the conference. And as Coach mentioned, 2 big games with county rival Southmont coming up next Tuesday and Thursday.
We'll run down that conference here real quick. Frankfort and Tri-West stand alone at the top at 7-2. They don't stand alone. They stand tied at first place, and then followed by Lebanon and North Montgomery, both 5-4. Your Athenians 4-5. Southmont and Danville 3-6, and in the cellars Western Boone 2-7. So a real mix-up this year in the conference.
And there are some huge matchups coming up in the last 2 weeks. Plus, everybody's got that standalone game at the tail end of the season.
Exactly, yeah. And the way things look, I can't conceive it won't come down to that very last ball game of the year. Here's the second pitch. Called a ball, high and away, so it's 2-0. Cade ahead on the count. Checking down with Coach Froge. I didn't see anything going on there, but
my guess is he'll be waiting.
we're usually pretty conservative here in this situation. That one's called a strike on the inside corner, and maybe the inside corner got a little bit bigger than normal on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once the chalk has been erased, then the edge of the plate can creep out just a little bit more to the left.
2-1. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Cade, I've commented about this little move. I won't say I don't like it, but a lot of batters do just what Cade did there. He
fake the bunt.
Squares it after bunt and then tries to get back. Well, he was late. He wasn't ready then when he swung. He's behind. Seen that happen too much, I think. Here's a swing and a miss on the breaking ball. So that's 4 in a row now.
For Wick, yep.
So Athenians turn over to the top of the batting order, and Will Kellerman, who scored the first run of the ball game.
Kellerman walked on a 7-pitch at bat in the top or the bottom of the 1st inning. Got to 3rd on a wild pitch after Scott singled and scored on a sacrifice fly.
Here's a line drive in the left field. That'll be down. Couple of bounces and it slows up, and Will's going to take it to second base, and good job there. The ball really slowed up out there, and then a little bobble, and Will taking the big round. That's, I see so many young men that just take a couple of steps on the turn, and that's amazing. Well, look for the most aggressive thing you can find out there.
Yep.
All right, run at second base with 1 down, and that'll bring up Carson Scott.
Really sharp base running by Kellerman right there. He saw that bobble. The ball came off the left fielder's heel of his glove, and that was just enough to get him to second base.
Here's a strike.
Scott was looking to hit my car in the parking lot with that pitch.
Yeah, I think Carson does tend to drive the ball a little more right-handed than left-handed, but he can hit either way, that's for sure. Here's the ball, and the count evens at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Bottom of inning number 3 in a 2-2 ball game.
Couldn't ask for a nicer day for baseball. My gosh. Just enough breeze, and there aren't even any mosquitoes to blow away.
Well, hope it stayed cold so long it won't be this year, you know?
Oh, trust me, it's Indiana. The mosquitoes will be here before long.
Isn't that the truth? I'm waiting for the mushrooms to get here. Mm-hmm. Here's a pitch. A ground ball back to the pitcher. He's going to go to first base for the second out. That big hop wasn't big enough that time.
No.
Got up over the pitcher's head, we'd have had another infield hit.
Well, that swing and that hit did almost exactly the same thing as his first at bat. It hit the plate, but that one went far enough into no man's land that nobody could get to it.
Right.
The second baseman couldn't run up into that plush lawn of the infield.
All right, Josh Blackburn to the plate.
Sac fly to center. Scored the first run of the ball game, his first trip. Needs a base hit here.
That one's in the dirt. Catcher keeps it in front. One ball, no strikes. Kellerman away at third base. Here's a ground ball. Second baseman coming over. He has it on to first base for out number 3. So, in the inning, the Athenians come up with no runs on 1 hit and 1 runner left on base.
No errors and 1 left.
So, at the end of 3 full, it reads like this. The Warriors from Whiteland Community, 2 runs on 4 hits and no errors. Your Athenians, 2 runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors.
And, Coach, I'm going to respectfully disagree with the scoreboard because
we did that last night, so that's we did it several times last night.
That's it, because on Kellerman's base hit, there was absolutely an E7 that allowed Kellerman to get to second base. Whiteland should have an error.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
Yeah.
You know.
But otherwise, all is good. The most important number is 2-2. Everything else is just for stat geeks like me.
Well, the reason you were right, Will actually came almost to a dead stop. Mm-hmm. He wasn't going to go unless that bobble had occurred.
Yep. No, there's no question about that because you and I both saw that very same thing. He took a big, nice, because the ball's that far deep into left field. That guy, there's not a player that's ever played baseball that can throw you out at first base from that far away. Yeah. So you take that big extra lead and you lean, which he did, and then the bobble happened, and then that committed Kellerman.
Well, you know the other thing about it, I was going to tell you, once upon a time I'd like to do that. When an outfielder thinks he's got a really good arm, you take that big round at first base and let him throw behind you.
That's right.
And you walk to second base.
Right. That's right, because number one, that throw's got to get behind you, and it's got to be caught, and then that guy's got to rearrange, he's got to regather it, and then he's got to make a great throw, and the leg's got to come back.
As a runner, the one thing you got to do, you got to read that there's no cutoff possible, But if there's no cutoff possible, there's no possibility you getting thrown back at second base.
That's right.
Well, here we go. Inning number 4 upon us already. This game moving right along, Jeff.
Yes, both pitchers, as we mentioned, are pretty effective with it. I didn't get the count here for Wick. He didn't throw very many. 1, 4, 6. He only threw 11. So his average has come down. He's now down to 13 pitches an inning. He's thrown 39 total. And Kellerman has thrown 35.
Pitch to Brady Reed, the third baseman for Whiteland. He takes it down and in.
He flew out to Saunders in left field. His first trip up.
Here is a ball put in play, but it's foul just outside the line.
He stung that one, but just a little in front of it.
I tell you, Will Kellerman at Frankfort was just masterful. I mean, I'm sure it was the best pitch game. And the Athenians actually opened the season down in Tennessee with a couple of really fine pitch games. Here's the pitch swung on again. He's a little bit quick, but I don't think he could hit that any other way but foul. But Cam Saunders started in the first game down in Tennessee and just really was on top of things. And then Warren came in with game number 2, and the same kind of performance. Here's a pitch, and I don't know where that was, but apparently it was a little bit outside.
Might have been a little low. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Awfully close.
As a pitcher, you're wanting it. I know that.
Right. As a coach, you want it too.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the 4th. Here's a fly ball going out of play down the left field line. I'm looking for distance there. Yeah, that was going to be close if he'd straightened it out. I think that would have probably carried that 320 out there.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I took geometry a long, long time ago, but I know, you got to figure an angle in there.
Yep.
All right, 2-2. Pitch. Whoa, that one, the wheel came off. Just a little bit outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Looking for the mascot down there.
Brady Reed, the hitter, with nobody down here in inning number 4.
It's just one of those you can laugh at because nobody's on base. It just turns your count 3-2.
Here's a ball fouled straight back out of play. Well, there's a left-handed umpire. No wonder he calls that one side of the plate. No,
could be. Well, we had about a week and a half ago. We had a lefty over at the softball field. Man, his signals, his mechanics.
His ground ball to short. Kale's over. He has it on to first base, and he's got him by 2 full steps. Good job by Kale staying down as that ball really didn't want to take that kind hop for him, and he kept that glove right down on the ground.
Reed worked Kellerman pretty hard. He worked into 8 pitches on that one. I was just finishing up the story, Coach. This lefty, and he was signaling strikes with his left hand, and then a couple times he was signaling like a ball. He'd push his right hand out there like signaling outside. I was just as confused as could possibly be.
Well, here's a pitch inside. This is
Clitheroe.
The hero.
That's it. The hero.
Ryan
the hero.
He's the catcher. Hutton got him, and no damage. He trots on down to first base. So runner border, 1 out. Well, was most confusing. I remember a guy that was a left-handed catcher.
And we've got a
number 43. I believe it is 43, and I don't have that on the program.
We'll need your lineup card.
Okay, let's see what 43 says on the lineup card. And 43 is Parker Brock.
Okay.
Parker Brock, pinch running. Here's a throw to first and runner back in time.
The courtesy runner at first base is number 43, Parker Brock.
So one quick throw over. This brings up
Sam
Pohl, who flew out to left field his first trip up.
He's a second baseman. Here's a pitch taken for a strike, and there's a pretty good breaking ball there. I'll get to that thing in just a minute. I had an umpire situation. Here's another breaking ball. This one stays a little bit low.
I thought we were going to get a delayed call strike.
Yeah, it looked good from here, but counting is 1 ball, 1 strike, as though the board was a little bit confused what was going on there, too. But
they put the strike up also.
There's a swing and a miss.
Paid him back.
Good fading fastball. And count is 1-2. Here's a ground ball. Will's up. He's got it. He decides he's going to go to first and get that out.
And the second he threw it, he turned around and hit himself on the side of the head and pounded his glove, knowing that he made a mental mistake.
Well, he did, but Young Ball Club.
The left fielder, Evan.
Exactly.
I'm a middle infielder. I'm loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two.
Right. You got to come.
I just blew somebody's ears out at home, you know. But here's a breaking ball for a strike. This is the number 9 hitter, Evan Hillman, and he started the whole thing in the last inning.
With that really good bunt single. Bottom line, Coach, just like we were talking about, though, get an out. He got an out.
Here's a ball grounded foul.
And the same thing, just finishing off. you've got so many guys who play so many positions. So I mean, Kellerman's played 2 outfield positions. He plays a lot of first base. Very same thing. Talk. Tell him.
Fastball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Top half of inning number 4. We're all locked up at 2-2. Fastball down and away. Deuces wild on the board.
A lot of 2s up there.
Here's a breaking ball, grounded to short. Kale's got a good hop this time. He took a little extra time, though, and I'm not sure. Maybe he didn't get it in the glove good.
Yeah.
He actually kind of double pumped on the thing, and that allowed the young man to beat it out, and we'll have to call it another hit, I think, Jeff.
I think I'm lean towards the east.
Well, I just know what they're going to put on the board.
The throw, the throw punch, because the throw pulled. The throw pulled Riddle away from the base.
Well, it did. However, I don't think the throw was there in time. I'm sure the throw wasn't in time. But if he doesn't double pump, I mean, he's got him. Yeah. So 1st and 3rd, 2 down. Here's pitch. It's taken for a strike.
Back to the top of the
yeah.
Yep.
He is 1 for 2 on the day.
Singled and scored in the 3rd inning.
Here's a ball taken deep to right field. Nobody going to catch that one. The ball's off the fence in 1 hop. It's going to score 1, and it's going to score 2. We had a play. Well, not now. Anyway, that's a 2-run double. Chase Bennett. And the Warriors take the lead over the Athenians here in the top of the 4th. It's a 4-2 ball game now.
Makes that play from short stand out
pretty
painfully now.
Yeah.
The right fielder, Garrett England.
Garrett England at the plate. Garrett had a base hit his last time, I believe.
He reached on a fielder's choice.
All right. Okay, I hit him. Okay.
That was the one he reached on a fielder's choice where we got the 1-5.
Yep.
Grounded out his first time up.
Here's a fly ball left field.
Right at Saunders.
No problem. He's got his sunglasses on.
There you go.
Made it easy.
Looking cool.
Well, the Warriors come up with a couple, take a 4-2 lead. 2 runs on 1 hit, and there was 1 Athenian error.
There you go. But the big number is that one on the front, and it's 4-2. So now the offense, for the first time, Crawfordsville offense finds itself behind. They jumped out in the first, got tied. Now they're behind. So now it's time to respond.
Well, we'll have Warren, Saunders, and Decker coming to bat. 4, 5, and 6 in your Athenian batting order.
Yeah, kind of across the inning from pitches, too. It took 23 pitches for Kellerman to get out of that thing. So that takes him to 58. So that raises his average back up to nearly 15 a game.
Well, you've got a doubleheader on Saturday, and you've got these pitching rules today that are so stringent, and I'm not sure where I am on that really yet. I mean, I agree with the intent. That's not a problem. I think there might need to be a bit of adjustment. Well, there's been a little adjustment actually from the original, but I think that there might need to continue to take a look at that. But in any case, you look at your Saturday, and you still got to keep Tuesday in mind.
That's right. That's right.
See,
yeah, you can't get much above 80 pitches because otherwise, then you got to rest the guy Sunday, Monday, and then he can't pitch Tuesdays.
No, absolutely. So yeah, right. All right. Warren takes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball. It got down into the zone for a strike.
Warren grounded out in the first inning, but did score. That drove in Crawfordsville's second run.
Here's a pitch fouled off. Sun kind of in and out a little bit today, Jeff, but still a great day.
They say partly sunny or mostly sunny, a little bit of
Here's the ball fouled straight back, and I think he'd have liked to have that one back. Austin had a good cut, but just a little bit under it.
Yeah, 0-2 now. He's got to just kind of protect the plate.
Well, he does, except I and again, from the very top to the bottom, I don't see that attitude happening a lot. Not that no one does it, and I'm sure our kids are taught to maybe have a little bit different approach with that two-strike situation. But I think a lot of young men kind of forget about it. He swings and misses. The ball gets loose. Catcher can't find it. Now here's the throw, and he's going to beat it out. So that'll go as actually that was a wild pitch strikeout, Jeff, because the ball was in the dirt. Catcher kept it there, but he couldn't find it. Actually, it was about between his legs, but it avoided him for a while.
Cam Saunders.
So a fortunate strikeout for the Athenians there, and that'll bring up Cam Saunders.
Now we'll see how small a ball Crawfordsville's playing. Saunders is going to bunt him
Here's
over.
a pitch, and he takes this one just a little bit low.
That was Wick's fifth strikeout of the game. At one point he had struck out 4 guys in a row.
Here's the pitch is down.
Saunders laid off of that thing, started to move the elbows and came back on it.
2 balls, no strikes. Runner at first base. Warren is not a threat to steal in this situation. Here's the pitch. This is taken inside as the umpire made a good manual signal there. I still get this umpire story. Yeah.
Yes. When we get done with the Crawfordsville half inning, that's what we get. The time.
Here's a pitch. That is a well, one of them had it right, but the one that counts says it's a strike. Yeah, that ball was inside on Cam, but we know enough about baseball. There's that thing called the old automatic, and that was exactly what we saw there.
Yeah, just got to be careful now because he tossed the bat back head to first base. Umpires don't like it showing up a little bit.
Here's a ground ball. Shortstop's over. Has it. He's going to go to second for 1. On to first base. Not in time. So Warren is forced out at second base on the fielder's choice. So 1 down. That will bring up Jake Decker.
Decker was a strikeout victim in the second inning.
The right fielder, Jake Decker.
Likewise, Cam, not a real threat to steal here, although they're going to throw over to first base. But he had about a 1.5 lead, so not much of a threat.
Yeah, that's right. One long stretch of that long left leg. He's back on first.
Well, here's a pitch, a bunt. Good position bunt, but the pitcher does a good job getting over, and he nails him by about a half a step on the play. So 2 down as Saunders gets on down to second base.
Decker with the sacrifice there. Bunted it in an awfully good spot. If the first baseman had bitten on that bunt just on another count, he wouldn't have been able to get back.
If the bunt's a little bit harder and gets on by the pitcher, he's on. But
that's right.
It's not a bad bunt.
Nope. They play the sacrifice. Now Bennett needs to come up with a base hit to score that run.
Owen struck out his first time. This time he fouls the ball back and out of play.
Back our way here. Bouncing towards the football field. Or the track field, or the open grass area, whatever you want to call it.
There you go.
There. Oh, the scoreboard guys must have gone on strike.
Here's a ground foul now behind on the count, 0-2. Had a fastball and then a breaking ball.
Yep.
So this is kind of a guess-what situation. Again, you're right, Jeff. This is the one we should be protecting the plate, keeping things alive here. Here's a swing and a miss, and Owen going after that fastball that tails away. Wasn't too far outside, but on the other hand, maybe it was too far outside.
That's right. Well,
2 strikes.
Yeah, he had started to lean away just a little bit, and you need about an extra foot in your bat when that happens.
Yep.
So no runs, no hits. That one error that allowed Warren to get to first base, and then he was stranded. Or Saunders was stranded after the fielder's choice. So let's just get a pitch. And you're going to tell that umpire story.
I am indeed, and that was regarding a gentleman that I had played some independent baseball with. It was a catcher, and a left-handed catcher. We don't see too many. And I will say this, he was probably the fastest catcher I ever saw to get out from behind the plate to field a bunt or a short hit out in front. He was cat quick. But he decided later on when he stopped playing he was going to umpire, so he's umpiring. And first occasion I had to watch him. I watched him a little bit. I said, there's something wrong there. And after a while I figured out he was using the wrong hand for the balls and strikes.
Yeah.
And so you really kind of never knew what the count was in a way. But and to be honest about it, I'm not sure he ever changed. I saw him at least 2 more times umpiring.
Yeah.
And most of this was some form of youth baseball, but nonetheless.
That makes it even tougher because, your youth kids, your younger players aren't used to, to say, oh, well, he's just backwards. He'll understand that a 3 in the right hand and a 2 in the, just... Hey, we know it's 3 and 2, even if you do have it upside down. But the scoreboard's come back on, so good.
Well, do you agree with him? I'm just going to read that totals after 4. The Warriors from Whiteland have 4 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Your Athenians, 2 runs, 2 hits, and 3 errors.
Yeah, everything's good except that we're still missing that 1 Whiteland error on that outfield. So otherwise, I'm living with Dave and the guys upstairs.
Luke Helton.
We're on it. We agree with it. Here's the number 3 hitter, Luke Helton. He's a shortstop for the Warriors.
He's been a thorn.
Here's a ground ball off to the right side. Will picked up grass instead of the ball. That'll go as an error on Will because he's got him out by a mile if he picks it up.
That's Crawfordsville's 4th error, and Helton has reached for the 3rd straight time. Singled in the 1st, singled and scored, and drove in a run in the 3rd inning, and now he's the leadoff guy on base here in the 5th inning.
Yep. Carrizales is the batter now. He's last time grounded out to the 3rd baseman. Here's the pitch down and in on the breaking ball.
Yep, and he struck out and reached base on the error in the 1st inning.
Yeah. Put error.
In the dirt.
Ball.
Away from Bennett.
Ball's loose and runner down to second base.
Carrizales swung at the low pitch, and got down in the dirt, came off of Bennett's shin guard, and bounced over here to the left.
So with nobody down, the Warriors have a scoring threat here in the top of the 5th. Here's a breaking ball and a good one by Will, and he's ahead on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Could use a strikeout right here. There's a swing and a miss. And I'm not sure. I think.
Well, the umpire didn't give him a ring up, so it must have gotten down into.
Must have got to dirt, I guess. Well, anyway, we have 1 out. That's important out right there.
And on top of that, Helton does not move from 2nd to 3rd. Bring up Wick, 0 for 2, ground out, strikeout. Kellerman had 58 pitches coming into this inning, so he's just a little over 60.
Breaking ball down, and Will looks like to me he's working that breaking ball a little better right now.
Okay.
A great location. Batters aren't picking that thing up. Here's the pitch again. See, there's a ball that's well in off the plate and probably down too. So batters not seeing it real well right now. So Will ahead 0-2.
Throwaway pitch, literally throwaway. 1-2.
Long pause by Will. And the pitch. He swings and ball's loose, but that time Owen looked like he might threw over the runner's head. But I think he was not that far down the line, so I have no danger there.
Right. He was just waiting for Riddle to get over to first base first.
The third baseman, Brady Reed.
That'll bring up Brady Reed. Reed is 0 for 2. Fly out to left in the second inning and ground out.
Shortstop. Yep.
On a long, it was an 8-pitch at bat in the fourth.
There's a breaking ball for a strike. That was more of a slider slurve look there on that pitch. Not a sharp breaker, but nonetheless, batter did not pick it up. All right, we got a balk called.
Yeah, they and both umpires called it right away.
Yeah.
Will didn't come to a complete.
No, he So runner third, Owen now needs to keep the ball in front of him. Here's the pitch. There's a good job of just what I'm talking about, that ball in the dirt. And Owen had the body over, squared it up. Great job of the young man. Again, only a sophomore.
Yeah, tremendous potential, and he's already shown a tremendous amount of ability. That you're right. He's got a great career in front of him.
Coming to the plate, this ball's knobbed out in front, but Will looking at that one real good and on to first base for out number 3.
No runs on no hits. There was one error and one left.
All right.
Leadoff guy gets on base and doesn't come back to haunt Crawfordsville.
Yeah, we're in a situation here where we just need to keep some momentum going. We got a little win last night. Let's get going with some offense here. We've only had 2 hits. We got a runs in the first inning. It looked, like we might be all over it, but has not been the case as this young man has come in and, I don't know. I haven't counted the strikeouts, but looks like I've got 6 strikeouts, I think.
He has 6. Yep, he has.
And so after the first inning, he's been very, very effective.
Yes. Yeah, Crawfordsville got to him with a walk and an infield hit, and then a sacrifice fly and a wild pitch. All resulted in those 2 runs. And the Athenians they've had a little bit of a threat. We got Kellerman to third base in the 3rd inning, and Saunders got to second base last
inning. Yeah.
That's been the extent of the ducks on the pond, so to speak. So Kellerman doesn't pitches that inning, so he's sitting right at 70 after 5 innings of work. So Coach Froge and Coach Welliver will start thinking about how long they want Kellerman to rest. If they want to save him for a possible, you won't start Tuesday, obviously.
No.
Starting Tuesday.
Well, I think they would. Yeah, I honestly, I see we do have some bullpen work going out there, and we'll just see.
Yep.
Anyway, Athenians here in the bottom half, inning number 5, bring up 8, 9, and 1. Cale McCarty stepping in and takes the first pitch up and maybe a little bit in.
Yep.
And Coach Froge shouldn't give away the signals, but I don't think we're going to swing at this pitch.
Probably not.
That ball's inside, so Cale ahead on the count. 2 balls, no strikes.
He struck out on 3 pitches last at bat, so the 7, 8, 9 spots have got 4 strikeouts.
Yeah. Here's ball 3, so Cale sprouting one here.
Yep. He may be watching too.
All right, the left-hander Wick on the way, and that is inside ball 4. No automatic on that one.
No. Missed by too much. And this umpire has been consistent. Give him all the credit in the world. That inside, he's not been that friendly, at a certain spot on that inside.
Our number 9 hitter, Cade Fitzwater, and Cade will not be swinging after the man in front of him walks on 4. And there's a pitch that stays high for a ball, and catcher going to have a little conference now.
Wick only had 53 pitches coming into this, so it certainly can't be a scenario of him being tired. Withrow probably just went out there to encourage him to focus just a little bit. Nothing more than sunflower seeds being spit out of the Whiteland dugouts. They're not reacting too healthy.
There's a 1-0 right down the middle. That time he found it. So Coach Froge comes away from the dugout. He's going to get serious now over there. Runs the signals through with the 1-1 count, and Fitzwater at the plate.
I do not know the Crawfordsville signals. But
we are not stealing.
Yeah, well, it would surprise me if Fitzwater wouldn't be bunting. The number 9 guy.
He's a good bunter.
Yep.
He takes that one too high.
Yep.
Crawfordsville, in general, has done a good job. And, I'm pleased with this because they're actually young. They don't bunt too many bad balls. Most teams really struggle with that ability to pull that bat back. They see the bunt signal, they get excited, and they bunt whatever comes up. Here's a pitch swung on, and we'll chuck that one up and see if we can get the 8 ball in the side pocket next time. Huh?
That's it. Just like you said, his last at bat was the exact same thing. Pulling
off.
Show that ball, and then hit the ball. One time he hit the ball foul over to the softball field, and then this one just bounced off the wall way down the right. 2-2.
Well, if we can get something good here, bring Will to the plate, we'll have a sincere threat. Here's a bunt attempt, and you cannot bunt the ball fair if you've got the bat behind the plate. I will tell you, there's a lot of errors made in the technique of bunting. The most common error, and I don't hear it talked about enough, batters have the bat in too close to the body.
Yeah.
Get it out here with just a little flex in the arms. Yeah. So the ball, instead they back here, and then they take the bat forward on the attempt to bunt. And, of course, in that case, he had to barrel the bat down. All right, here's the throw to first, back in time. Top of the order, Will Kellerman.
Kellerman has reached base twice, walked and scored in the first, singled, got stranded at third base in the third inning.
That's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
That one fooled Kellerman completely, and he was lucky that ball didn't catch the corner of the plate.
Pitches is down and away. Yep. 2 balls, no strikes. Inning number 5 with your Athenians trailing here, 4-2.
The only guy Wick has walked was Kellerman in the first.
Here's a pitch, and this is a called strike. Will kind of started his swing and then held up, but the ball apparently got enough of the plate for strike number 1.
Looked a little low from this angle, but I'm not close enough.
Pitch, Will swings, takes it to third. He's got it on the first. And on the first base where the runner, Kellerman, beats it out. And good job by the third baseman there.
Yeah, Reed came up with it. That one could, that one got pretty close. If it caught the edge of that grass, that would have hopped in 7 different directions. But it didn't. He gathered it up and got the force out at second base. So that keeps only 1 runner at first base with 2 outs. And now time for Carson Scott to come up and get done.
The 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 5th.
Scott singled and scored in the first, grounded back to the pitcher in the third.
Carson back to the right-hand side here.
Takes one up.
Third baseman in on the grass. Here's a pitch taken for a strike, a breaking ball that just got enough of the zone to drop down, and count evens at 1-1.
Yeah. Scouting report on Scott must be that he may bunt just a little bit. I'm really surprised with 2 outs at third base to play this close. One hopper gets by really quickly.
There's no question. I would dare to say that he's probably close to half his hits this year have been bunts.
Sure. No, I was being just a little bit facetious.
He's yeah. Well, I'm sure the word's out. All right, here's a 1-1. Swing on and missed. Carson with a good swing, but he got underneath that one.
The Whiteland coaches may have been watching all of our YouTube broadcasts and doing some scouting reports.
All right, the 1-2 now. Swings, grounds right side. First baseman with a good backhand stab has it, and he gets Scott at first base. So
No runs, no hits.
number 3, unassisted for out number 3.
So the leadoff walk goes nowhere for Crawford.
Yeah, we're
no errors, 1 left.
leaving a run there. Not getting a ton of runners, but when we get on, we're leaving since the first inning. So at the end of 5-4 innings of play, your Athenians trailing here by a 4-2 score. It's 4-5-1 for Whiteland and 2-2-4 for your Athenians, and that 4 and more I've seen too many times this year. I'm sure that would be one of the first things the coaching staff would mention about this performance.
And two of those errors have
led to runs.
So, interesting note here, Coach, that both pitchers at the end of 5 innings of work have thrown exactly 70 pitches. Numbers right.
Well, that's pretty good economy. That's less than 15 an inning on average, so I can't argue with that. I'm working with my pitchers. Well, we have 2 innings left, Jeff. There's plenty of time to, we've got a little change out there.
It does have a new pitcher.
Yeah.
Austin Warren coming in to throw for Crawfordsville.
Yeah, Austin has been a pitcher that, let's put it this way, has probably had the most velocity. I would say, it seems to me as maybe even preseason, throwing like 86, maybe even 87 miles an hour. But I don't think he's been throwing quite that hard lately, but for a sophomore, he throws the ball pretty hard. His nemesis has been a little bit of loss of control.
Well, the book on Kellerman finishes up 5 innings pitched, 5 hits scattered, 4 runs, 1 earned.
Okay.
No walks, 3 Ks.
Well, definitely a good outing by. Yep. I would say that with the exception of that game over Frankfort, probably about as good as he's pitched any other game this year. And as you mentioned, 3 of those 4 runs unearned. So you take those away, we certainly would have a different ball game. But that's the way the game's played, and we just got to tighten it up out there on the D. All right, here's the first pitch. Warren delivers inside.
Yep. And along with the D coach, Crawfordsville really needs to stack a couple of hits together. They've not been able to put more than about 1 hit or a walk together here in the last couple 3 at bats.
That one's taken at the knees for a ball.
This is Glithrow.
Glithrow was hit by pitch last time,
but did score. So officially 0 for 1.
Here's the ground ball to short. Big high hop. Kale has it on to first, and Will Kellerman, who moved from the mound to first, gathers it in for out number 1.
The second baseman, Sam Pohl.
Brings up Sam Pohl. Sam's the number 8 hitter.
0 for 2. Fly out, ground out back to the pitcher.
First pitch is the ball. Here's the ball taken in left center field. That's going to be down. come up with the ball quickly out there, and we'll hold him to a base hit. So
good hustle out there. Is that still Cam Saunders in left field?
Yeah, it is. It is. Cam did a good job getting to his left, and
went a long ways to go get that one. I thought sure that was going to gap enough just for a double. So it's his first hit. Hillman up next. Bunted for a single in the third. Reached on an error in the fourth.
There's a bunt, and it was, I'm going to say, I think the plate umpire got blocked, and he didn't make the call right away, but the base umpire had it caught. It's a bunt attempt, fouled into the batter's body, so it's a dead ball.
Yep. Good job by the partner out there, the umpire out on the bases. He saw the ball clearly come up and hit the batter, and so he killed the play before the home plate umpire had a chance.
So Hillman been on base twice today, number 9 hitter. Here's the fastball over the outside part of the plate, and quickly hit on the count is Austin Warren. No balls, 2 strikes. There's a breaker that was, in a true sense, a waste pitch. Way outside.
Good thing he didn't waste it into the fence.
Well, the good thing that Mr. Bennett got to it. Here's the next pitch, and that's down and away. So the count's even now. Throwing the breaker there both times. I think it's a slider, but not where he wanted it. Here's another one. That's a fastball down, but he needs a strike here. We want to watch and see what their philosophy is here. If the runner is going to go on this 3-2 pitch now.
Strike him out, throw him out, maybe.
That'd be sweet. Here's a pitch, swung on the foul back, and he was not going.
Seventh pitch coming here.
Ball 4, so not what the doctor ordered there.
No, not with an 0-2 start. That brings the top of the order up for Whiteland. Bennett, 2 for 3, single, a double, 2 RBIs.
Yeah, he's
his double made that error pay in the 4th inning.
So if he is looking for a kind ground ball here, here's the breaking ball wide and not able to command that pitch right now. And here comes pitching coach Welliver out, and we're going to talk about maybe how we're releasing that ball.
Yeah.
Timing's off on it, obviously.
Right. He works fast. Is that,
Well, I tell you what.
Can that work into that problem?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can work too fast, especially when things aren't going right. Mm-hmm. You need to step back, maybe take a couple, 3 steps off the mound and get yourself back, think about what, most of the time, a pitcher has a pretty good understanding what's wrong out there. What am I doing wrong here? And, again, the younger players, maybe not quite so much, and that's why we take a mound visit and remind them, you got to do this, you got to do that.
Yeah. Well, especially, too, you just lost a guy after an 0-2 lead, and first pitch to this next guy is ball 1. He's a dangerous hitter, so, don't get scared of him, but to be cognizant of what's going on.
There's a breaking ball, and that stays a little bit high. So 2 balls, no strikes. Austin Warren, pitcher 2 away from working himself into a real serious jam here. Need to get one over the plate. Here to pitch, ground the ball, and that'll be fielded by a third baseman over the second out. And we fake the throw, and somebody else has seen that move too, but that was the right move to hold the ball. That's what I like about it, because too many young men make throws like that when you have absolutely no play, and really the only thing can happen when you do that would be bad. You know.
It's like Woody Hayes always used to talk about. When, you know, back in the old days. You know, there's only 3 things that happen when you pass the ball, and 2 of them are bad. You know.
All right, 2 down. Big second out. Here's the pitch going too high. This is Garrett England.
England has reached base once on a fielder's choice, but is officially 0 for 3 on the day. Ground out, fly out, FC.
Runner going now. We cannot throw, and we do not throw. Well, we definitely couldn't throw because he had a gigantic break on that. So there's absolutely no chance. Sometimes, you know what, in a year or two here, Warren's going to make that throw with 2 outs.
Yes.
Here's a pitch. This is high. So Warren in danger of loading the bases up here.
Yeah, and you really don't want to load the bases
No,
up.
you really don't want to. On the other hand, you got a place to put him. So
problem is the next guy up has been on base 3 times.
Here's a pitch right down the middle. That is true. Helton has
2 singles and reached on there.
Yeah, he's been very. He and the leadoff hitter have been their 2 offensive stars, I guess, of this ball game. Here's the pitch away in ball 4. So Austin, you know, I know again it's hard out there. You know you've walked people. You kind of kicking yourself a little bit, but look at it in a positive way. You don't need 1 out to get out of this thing without any damage.
Ground ball, fly ball, strike 3, any old thing will work.
So sack's packed. Here's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. My headset just switched. Did you switch over there? Okay.
Mine it went back to stereo. I think we bumped a connector.
Here's a pitch up and away.
Evens account.
Here's a swing and a miss, and Helton trying to go for the grand slam there.
Yeah, he just challenged him with a little high heat there. So,
well, let's use it against him here. Let's see if he'll chase one. Here's a pitch. He won't chase that one. It's up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Do not want to go any further.
No.
Do not want to set the merry-go-round in motion. All right, the 2-2. Strike 3. Little breaker just caught the inside corner. Froze Helton. And so Warren gets out of the jam.
No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left.
Okay, no runs, a run, a hit.
1 hit?
Yep, 1 hit. There was those 2 walks.
3 men left on base.
And
That's
and no errors. That's a big.
yeah, he's got that. Well, we go to the bottom half of inning number 6. The Athenians needing some runs here. They're down by a score of 4-2.
Warren needs 25 pitches to get through that 6th inning.
Well, we'll have 3, 4, and 5 coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 6th. That's Blackburn, Warren, and Saunders.
So far, those guys have not produced a hit. Blackburn has a sacrifice fly. Saunders reached on a fielder's choice. So, actually, the bottom 7 guys in the inning in the batting order so far have not produced a hit.
No.
McCarty walked.
No.
And that's been it.
Well, we only had 2. Saunders, Kellerman with 1 and Scott with 1, and that's all she wrote. So.
And those were the first 2 hitters of the ball game for Crawfordsville. So, yeah, they came up and base hit, and Wick has shut the door ever since. And he stays on.
Well, he's had some help with some good defense. They've made 2 or 3 plays that, certainly were plays that they probably don't make 100% of the time. And,
right.
But the Athenians got to help themselves now. And heart of the order, so this is the time to do it. Don't want to wait till we get to the 7th inning with the bottom of the order.
No. Wick is in the bottom of the order is going to have to do it one way or the other, because if you can get a couple guys on here now at 3, 4, and 5, then the bottom of the order can have a little bit more liberty to get that base hit to extend it. So they're going to have to produce one way or the other unless these first 2 guys come up and
Leading
hit
off
one
for
run.
your Athenians, the 3rd baseman, Josh Blackburn.
Well, here's Josh Blackburn, and Josh has been a good offensive player for the Athenians. I'm not sure what his batting average is currently, but he's been a very consistent offensive player for the Athenians. First pitch taken for a ball, big breaker.
Wick had 70 pitches coming into this 6th inning.
Here's another breaker. This is going to stay a little bit high, maybe inside too, but in any case, Wick took a long look, wanting his call, but he couldn't get it, so it's 2-0. Here's a pitch, and this is strike one, a letter-high fastball.
That's a high school fastball strike. In the major leagues, you do not get that call.
You got that right. Here's a pitch. That is a ball, maybe a little bit outside.
I think Wick stubbed his toe or caught his cleat in a little piece of dirt or something because he didn't come down with a solid landing. That's what helped lead to that pitch floating outside.
3-1 on the way. That's too high, ball 4. So a leadoff walk. Josh Blackburn on down to first base.
Third walk issued by Wick. Kellerman walked to lead off the first. McCarty walked to lead off the 5th. And now Blackburn walks to lead off the 6th inning. And here comes Whiteland coach Scott Sherry. Interesting to see how short a leash he will have here with his number 2/3 pitch.
Yeah. Well, I've been impressed with his overall game.
Yes.
He's got a pretty good breaking ball, and we mentioned that fastball tailing away from these right-handed hitters caused the Athenians a lot of trouble. As 2 hits in 5 innings would show. So we really need to make sure we get this young man from first base on around and get on the board here.
That's right.
I mean, not that I don't want more than one, but if you get one, you change your game as you go into the 7th inning, if that be the case.
Yep, no doubt. It was just like Wednesday night when I was over at Frankfurt again for that Southmont game. One of the best pitchers in the Sagamore Conference, the Lopez boy. Southmont got a guy on, got 2 guys on. They could never get that one hit that would have driven him out of the game, and they ended up losing in the last of the 7th.
There's a pitch, and this is taken for a strike on the inside corner. Came right back with a fastball that time.
Yep. Warren grounded out to score a run in the 1st inning and then reached base on a strikeout /E2 in the 4th.
Well, here's the young man does have some power. He asks for time at the plate now. Austin Warren certainly can get the ball out of this ballpark, but don't want him thinking that way.
Got a couple
Just
dingers.
squared up, yep. He swings at a breaking ball that is inside. Trying to tie it up with one swing right there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not too upset about that kind of a swing. First strike, or second strike, I guess it is, but he needs, as you've been saying, needs to protect here. Wow, too close to take, but he got the call. Down just a little bit, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sometimes there's that automatic 0-2 ball.
Well, that's right. That is no question about it. Here's a ground foul. That is the same pitch he swung on and missed just a minute ago, but he that time was protected. He, waiting a little longer, staying with it.
Wind's picked up just a little bit, too.
I just about ready to mention, you got that right. I think maybe it's changed direction a little bit.
A little bit more towards left center.
Here's the pitch. Way up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blackburn at first base. Warren at the plate. Warren represents the tying run. Wick to the plate. Breaking ball taken down third. Third with a nice stop. He's up with the ball. Will have no play. That'll be hit number 3 for the Athenians. Well, I tell you what.
Nice stop at third.
I was just going to say, we go to third if he doesn't make that stop. I mean, if you look where the left fielder is, and the ball gets slowed up anyway, and he gets into the grass. So that was an important stop there. now Coach Frode's
He's going to put a courtesy runner in.
Probably Mr. Martin. Yep.
Yep, that's Austin, or Andrew Martin.
Andrew Martin running now.
The courtesy runner at first base is number 29, Andrew Martin.
Got to take care of Andrew once in a while. He's just a young freshman, and he sometimes strays a little bit out there. Has been picked off once or twice.
Yeah.
And then, representing the Tyne run, we can't afford that.
No, gotta be heads up with what you're doing now.
All right, Cam Saunders steps in now with nobody out. Runners at first and second.
0 for 2 on the day, ground out, fielder's choice.
Left-hander delivers. He swings and misses. Fastball, letter high. Good cut that time by Cam.
Yep. He wanted to take the lead with that.
There you go. I think you're right. Blackburn away from second. Here's the pitch. One on, popped high in the air. It's going to be an infield fly. First baseman, second baseman. Who's it going to be? Second baseman.
Okay.
So, one down is Saunders. It's a big league pop-up.
Going to bring up Decker. Decker is 0 for 1 officially. Struck out in the second. Laid out a nice sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. It moved Saunders to second base, but that's where he got stranded. So,
Big and bad here for Jake.
yeah.
There's a pitch. Swung on, foul straight back into the net. Under that one just a little bit.
That was straight back as Mrs. Froge. Even she ducked out of there.
Well, tried to teach her better, but I don't know.
It's coming right at your face. It's hard not to duck.
There's a ground ball up the middle, and he's got it out at the bag, and he's got the out at first for a double play.
Oh, what a great play by that shortstop. My goodness.
Yeah, really, he was off balance and yet corrected himself.
No errors.
The only question I would have, I wasn't sure he got the bag at second, but apparently did, and he made a really accurate throw, strong throw back to first base. Got to DP. So Athenians taken out of the inning by a very good play. And we go to the 7th inning with the score remaining 4-2 in favor of Whiteland County. So got to hold him close.
That's right. Didn't matter if he touched the base. He got the call.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Yeah, he may have swiped over it.
Well, see what the kids were doing out there. Our middle infielders both went to the bag and showed footwork on the bag out there.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they were convinced that he got it. But it doesn't matter now, that's for sure.
No runs, 1 hit for Crawfordsville in the bottom of the 6th inning. They only leave 1 as Blackburn stranded after the leadoff walk, and the DP kills the rally.
Well, the other thing about that is that I said we didn't want to go to the 7th with the bottom of the order, but it's 7, 8, and 9. So
got no choice now.
We better. Well, it wouldn't be the last time that the bottom of the order turned things around.
Hey, the softball
first time.
The softball team came through with a gigantic couple of at-bats last night to produce the 6-run win in the bottom of the 7th inning. So, to coin a phrase, they're due. They're due.
I think that's probably the case.
So,
well, you know what? I just looking here, the temperature remains at 73 degrees, Jeff.
Okay.
Hadn't gotten any hotter.
That's what we got when we started.
The wind is up and turned now more out of the southwest, and 5 miles an hour, so not that much.
Nope. But the flags at least are blowing a little bit. For most of the first 5 innings, the flags were just barely rippling ever so little.
All right, Carrizales coming to the plate.
He is 0 for 3 on the day, strikeout, fielder's choice, and strikeout again.
Fastball away. That may be the hardest pitch that Warren is throwing. A little pop on that one.
Yep. Warren in relief of Kellerman.
Here's a pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
First of 2 if you're making some plans for watching a little more baseball on YouTube later today.
Yeah, we're scheduled for a 4 o'clock start with the Athenians playing Cecina.
And it is 3:12 now, which means that game will never start before 4 o'clock.
Doesn't seem like it will. Here's a line drive to left field. Cam over, and he's got it.
Nice play.
Nice job, Cam Saunders. Corrals that one, and he had to leave his feet, come down with the ball.
The hardest play for an outfielder, or at least all, through my years of observation, the hardest is that line drive. You know, you can get a fly ball, you can gauge it, do whatever.
A little easier to your left, or like that.
Yep.
The one that's kind of right at your nose is a little harder, but no, that was really a good play. You got to get a good jump to make that happen.
Yep, and he made a good jump on another. You know, he held a single or held a double to a single. You know, a couple innings ago, and just engaging that thing. It's like a Hank Aaron. That pitch called a strike, but that's like a Hank Aaron home run. Hank Aaron used to hit those. You know, they don't. The shortstop and the left fielder would both jump for the ball as it went over the fence. You know?
Ball's up. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Tyler Wick at the plate. He is 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out.
Here's a pitch that backs him away from the plate, and so Wick ahead on the count, 3-1. Here's a pitch on the inside corner, strike 2. Wick started to go, held up, and found it to be a good pitch.
Yep, that's the same pitch that struck out Helton
in
the 6th inning.
Here's a pitch he nubs off the handle there, and he got a handful of bumblebees on that one.
Yes. Yeah,
not as bad as with the old wooden bat.
Oh my gosh! Especially if it was cold too.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like ice picks dragging through your hands.
Here's a ground ball left side. Josh Blackburn on to first base. Out number 1.
Nice job by Blackburn that time. I noticed that time he did not take the extra hop to make the throw over. I've seen that with several of our infielders that they get the ball and then they take that hop and a half before they throw.
In most cases, not all, but in most cases that happens. There's ground ball outside the line of third. In most cases, really what's happening there is just a little bit of lack of confidence, and they conscientious and want to make a good throw and take that extra second, and sometimes it is a negative play.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a breaking ball, stays wide. That was really a better breaking ball than he's throwing, but still off the plate.
Drifted out, yep.
1 ball, 1 strike. This one's down.
2 outs, and Crawford has got to start looking at the bottom of the 7th and figuring out a way to get at Wick, I'm sorry.
There's the pitch up.
Come on, Austin, you're all right.
So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 down here. Top of inning number 7. Athenians trailing 4-2. Here's a shot up the middle for a base hit. So Reed, first hit for him today, but a solid line drive.
We should be seeing a courtesy runner again here.
Yeah, they're going to roll somebody in here.
No, I'm sorry, this is not a courtesy. This will be a pinch runner.
Yeah, number 43.
That is Brock.
We've been there before.
Yep,
yeah.
So Brock is now a pinch runner where he was a courtesy runner.
Yeah.
The courtesy runner first base is number 43, Parker Brock.
Okay, that brings up Guthrie, and he's 0 for 2.
What's that? I'm sorry. Glithero is...
Here's the ball taken to right field, foul.
Wow. Yep. Yes, Glithero 0 for 2, F9, ground out 6-3. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 4th inning.
Pitch down. Oh, yeah, strike on that one. That's a good location.
Yep.
If you can get a strike there, You can get a lot of outs. Here's a sweeper, and the ball gets loose. Owen's going to take a throw down there, but he's off the base, and he's out. Owen slid the bag out there. So the young man was not wrong in trying to gain the base, but as it ended up, he is thrown out.
Okay. Just a re-enter call on that.
Okay.
Reed is going to come back into play third base. So 4, 11, 16, and 19 pitches for Warren. So he is now sitting at 44 for the afternoon.
Okay. So in the top of the 7th, there was no runs on one hit and no Athenian errors. One runner got thrown out at the end of the inning. So the Athenians come up 7, 8, 9 in the batting order. And I think we're going to run a pinch hitter in here.
16.
Yeah, that is Jacob Weimer.
He will pinch hit in the 7th for Bennett. Bennett was 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, we had a really strange situation. I don't know whether you were out here for the Lebanon ball game or not.
I was here for one of them. The first one, I think.
Yeah. And you notice, in inning number 1, we get 1, 2, and 3 on base. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Strikeout.
We strike out and hit a double play. Inning number 3, we get 1, 2, 3 on, strikeout, double play.
That's right.
And Owen had been hitting the ball really well prior to that, and since then he hasn't hit the ball so well. I don't know, but anyway, and he hit the one ground ball. It was definitely hit hard enough. It's going to be a base hit if you just find a hole. Well, here's Weimer trying to get something going for the Athenians. Takes the first pitch too high.
It's get her done. It's get her done or get her done for Crawfordsville.
Well, the bat's going to stay on the shoulder here, and he takes it inside. 2 balls, no strikes. I tell you, as a pitcher, an experienced pitcher, not so much, but sometimes the very fact the guy's not swinging makes it harder to throw a strike.
That's right.
Here's the pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 now. Weimer trying to get things going for the Athenians. We trail it 4-2.
In the dirt.
3 balls, 1 strike. Kind of an ugly board right now. Let's see if we can change it. Only 2 runs and only 3 hits, but 4 errors. When the errors are larger, here's a ball fouled off to the screen. When the errors are more than the hits and runs, it's probably not a good day, Jeff.
Not a good day. No, it's not.
Got time to turn it around. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wick, a long pause in, and the pitch. He swings and misses. A ball right down the middle.
Yep, challenged him. He sure challenged him.
Okay, with 1 away.
For Crawfordsville, number 23, Caleb Coons.
This is Caleb Coons.
Coons stepping in. He'll be hitting for Cale McCarty.
Yep.
Come on, baby. Come on, Mayor.
Somebody over the stands yelling.
I heard it.
Yeah,
I heard it.
His dad, former Mayor Charlie Coons, sitting just down here to our right. Strike 1.
Takes it for a strike on the inside corner. Swings and misses. He had a healthy swing, but couldn't find the ball. Here's a swing and foul back into the net.
Got just that little piece of it. You hit it straight back, and you hit the right spot. Just missed the bat a little bit.
Here's a swing and a miss. The ball gets away from the catcher. He steps out. Makes the easy throw for out number 2.
And that will bring the last chance up to Cade Fitzwater.
Come on, 2-5, let's go.
Cade has struck out twice. So let's not go for the hat trick.
Let's not do that.
This would be a double hat trick because we don't want him to end the game with a 3 strikeout. Here's a pitch taken for a strike on the inside part of the plate.
They finally got a score from up at
Oh, okay.
The Chargers are winning 9-1 in the 6th
Okay.
over Cecina.
You're right. We won't be a 4 o'clock start on this next game.
Not a chance. We'll be lucky to start by 4:30.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody will kind of give us a kind of a starting time before we get off. Here's a pitch high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Cade trying to get on base for the first time today. We're only a base runner and a swing away from a tie ball game.
Yeah, get this guy on.
Here's a pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner.
Fenian's down to the last strike.
Come on.
Wick delivers. Swung a line drive to first baseman, and that'll be the ball game. So Cade getting the ball
The ball game, your final score.
on a soft line drive to first base, and that'll
Crawfordsville 2.
send the Athenians down to defeat and run them to an 11-9 season record, Jeff.
For Crawfordsville, 2 runs, 3 hits. There were 2 Whiteland errors. The Athenians left 4 on base. 6, 4, 10, 15. Oh, and Wick finishes with exactly 100 pitches.
Okay.
Whiteland on the afternoon, 4 runs. And we're agreeing with that 7 hits. 1, 4, 5, 7 hits. There were 4 Crawfordsville errors. And Whiteland left 2, 3, 4, 5, left 8 guys on base. The winning pitcher is Wick, who went the distance, scattering those 3 Crawfordsville hits. He struck out 9 and walked 3.
We have a score from Northmont.
Picked
The
up
Chargers are leading
good win for him.
9-1.
Kellerman picks up the
Headed to
loss for
7th
Crawfordsville.
inning.
He went the first 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, 1 earned, didn't walk anybody, 3 Ks, and went 70 pitches. Warren comes in to pitch the last 2 innings, didn't give up any runs, did give up a couple of hits. So it is. It's 4-2 final. Crawfordsville, their first 2 batters score their first 2 runs, and that turns out to be the only 2 runs.
Yeah.
As Whiteland runs their record to 11-8, Crawfordsville falls to 11-9 with this 4-2 win.
Well, Jeff, going back to Kellerman, I really felt like, he maybe wasn't at the very top of his game, but I thought he pitched well. Mm-hmm. And, as you mentioned, he walked no one.
Yep.
Strikeouts were down a little bit. I think he's, when he's on, he'll get you a few more strikeouts than that.
Right.
But all in all, a well-pitched game, only 1 earned run. And so it comes down to defense and a lack of offense, really, because 4 errors too many, as you said. There really should be 5 errors, I believe.
No, Whiteland.
Was it the other way around?
Whiteland, no,
the other way around. Yeah, that's right. That was Kellerman taking advantage of the error. Yeah,
and Whiteland had 2, not 1 on the scoreboard.
So anyway, we need to make sure that we tighten that defense up a little bit, and because you give up 4 runs, but when 3 of them are unearned, that's just again not a formula for success. So
if you can only get 2 runs in, then you got to allow less. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So.
Well, let's get a little rest, get a little food in bellies, and be ready to go again. I don't know whether we have an approximate starting time or not.
Right, yeah.
So it's going to be probably an hour from now, I would guess. Yeah. Well, we're going to leave it at that way. That's the best estimate we can make. Jeff, enjoyed working with you again, and we'll do it again here in just a little bit.
You put up with me for 1, you put up with me for a second.
I'll tell you, I appreciate it. I tell you what, you give a good perspective to the game, and that keeps me halfway honest when you do that.
There you go.
Okay. Well,
grab his stats. It's all best we can do. So.
All right. Well, thanks again
Absolutely.
to Jeff. And this is Dan Rover saying we'll be back in approximately 1 hour with game number 2 today against Cecina.